Hello, friends. Are you feeling stuck watching everyone else move forward? Tired of comparing yourself to others and feeling like you are falling behind? By the end of this conversation, you will understand why winners focus on themselves, not on the competition. Because your biggest distraction is not your circumstances, it is your scattered focus. Hi, Surin. Welcome to today's conversation. You recently read this powerful book about focusing on yourself until you win. What made you pick this up?
Sia, I was exhausted. Not physically, but mentally. I was constantly looking at what others were doing, checking social media, comparing achievements, feeling behind. And this book called me out hard.
Called you out how?
It said your problem is not lack of ability. Your problem is scattered attention. You are giving your energy to everyone except yourself.
That is painfully relatable.
Right? The book starts with this uncomfortable question. Do you even know who you are? Not who people think you are, but who you actually are. And honestly, Sia, I had no clear answer.
So it starts with self-awareness?
Exactly. The author says you cannot win a race if you don't know your own strengths. Most people spend their entire lives trying to be like someone else. They see someone successful and copy their path. But that never works.
Why not? If someone else succeeded doing something, why cannot we?
Because their path was built for their strengths, their circumstances, their timing. Yours will be different. The book says the first step to winning is recognizing yourself. Your fears, your weaknesses, your real desires.
That sounds painful.
It is. Because it means confronting uncomfortable truths. But the book says this pain is necessary. Without it, you'll keep running in circles.
Okay, so we recognize ourselves, then what?
Then you eliminate distractions. And this part hit me the hardest. The author says there are 3 types of distractions that kill your growth.
3 types?
First, people who doubt you even though they have done nothing themselves. Second, situations that drain you emotionally and pull your focus away from your goals. Third, activities that waste your time but feel important in the moment.
Like social media scrolling?
Exactly like that. The book says your time is your most valuable asset. Every minute you give to distractions is a minute stolen from your dreams.
But, Surin, how do you actually cut people out? That feels harsh.
The book addresses this. It's not about being cruel. It's about protecting your energy. If someone constantly pulls you down, questions your decisions, or makes you feel small, you have to create distance. Not out of anger, but out of self-respect.
So boundaries are necessary?
Absolutely necessary. The author says winners do not try to please everyone. They'd rather be alone on the right path than surrounded by people on the wrong one.
That takes courage.
It does. But the alternative is staying stuck forever.
What about goals? Does the book talk about setting clear goals?
Yes, an entire chapter. The author says most people fail not because they lack talent. They fail because their goals are foggy. If you don't know where you're going, every road feels right and every road feels wrong.
So clarity is everything.
Everything. The book says write your goals down. Not just think about them, write them. When you write something, your brain treats it as a command. This is my direction, I must move toward it.
And what if the goal feels too big?
Break it into small steps. The author says every big achievement is just a series of small actions. You don't climb a mountain in one jump. You take one step, then another, then another.
That makes it less overwhelming.
Exactly. And the book says clarity in goals protects you from distractions. When you know your direction, other people's opinions matter less. Comparison reduces. Fear of failure decreases.
Because you have a clear target?
Yes. And when you have a target, you stop looking sideways at what others are doing.
What about excuses? I feel like we all make them without realizing.
The book has a brutal chapter on this. It says excuses are the walls you build around your own success. No time, no money, wrong circumstances, unsupportive people. These all sound valid, but they're just stories your mind creates to avoid discomfort.
So excuses are just fear disguised.
Exactly. The author says action is the antidote to fear. When you sit and overthink, fear grows. But the moment you take one step, fear starts breaking.
Even if the step is imperfect?
Especially if it's imperfect. The book says your first step doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be taken. Perfection kills more dreams than failure ever will.
That's powerful. What about failure itself? How does the book handle that?
This was the chapter that changed my perspective completely. The author says failure is not your enemy. Your real enemy is the fear of failure. When you're afraid to fail, you never try anything bold. You play it safe forever.
So we should embrace failure?
Not just embrace it, learn from it. The book says fail fast, learn fast, rise fast. Every failure teaches you something. Maybe your planning was wrong, maybe your effort was insufficient, maybe your direction needed adjustment. But failure always pushes you forward if you let it.
That's a huge mindset shift.
It is. The author says successful people are not those who never fell. They are those who fell and got back up every single time.
So resilience matters more than talent.
Much more. Talent without resilience means nothing, but average talent with unstoppable resilience create miracles.
Does the book talk about consistency?
An entire chapter. And this one made me uncomfortable because I realized I'm great at starting things but terrible at continuing them.
That's so common.
The book says consistency is more powerful than intensity. Doing a little bit every day beats doing a lot once and then quitting. It's like a river cutting through rock. The river is not strong because of force. It's strong because it never stops.
So small actions daily?
Yes. The author says you don't need to be fast. You just need to not stop. If you work on your goal every single day for 100 days, your life will transform.
Even if the daily progress feels tiny?
Especially if it feels tiny, because tiny progress compounds. The book says winners are not special people. They are consistent people.
What about self-belief? Does the book address that?
Heavily. The final chapter is all about this. The author says you can have all the knowledge, all the resources, all the opportunities, but if you don't believe in yourself, none of it matters.
So belief comes before everything else?
It has to. The book says the world only recognizes you after you recognize yourself. If you see yourself as weak, the world treats you as weak. If you see yourself as capable, the world starts believing you too.
But, Surin, what if you genuinely doubt yourself?
The book says self-belief is not a feeling. It's a practice. You build it by keeping promises to yourself. Every time you say you will do something and you actually do it, your self-respect grows. Every time you break a promise to yourself, it weakens.
So it's about proving yourself to yourself?
Exactly. The author says stop waiting for external validation. The only validation that matters is your own.
That's liberating, but also scary.
It is both, because it puts all the responsibility on you. No one else can give you confidence. You have to build it daily.
How did this book change you personally?
It made me realize I was living scattered. I was trying to do everything, impress everyone, keep up with everyone. And I was exhausted. Now I ask myself one question every morning. Is this bringing me closer to my goal or pulling me away? If it's pulling me away, I don't do it.
That's a simple filter.
Simple, but brutal. Because it means saying no to a lot of things. Saying no to people, to opportunities that look shiny but are distractions, to comfort.
So focus requires sacrifice.
Always. The book says you cannot have everything, but you can have anything if you focus completely on it.
Before we end, one last honest thought from you. How would you summarize this book in one feeling?
Clarity. This book strips away all the noise. It tells you to stop looking at others, stop making excuses, stop waiting for perfect conditions. Just focus on yourself and keep moving until you win. It's simple, but not easy. And that honesty is what makes it powerful.
Friends, this was today's book summary. Please let us know how you liked it by commenting below. And thank you for listening to the summary till the end.